Hello my chairs, today we're going to be playing as the nation of Mali, who is arguably the hardest nation in all of EU4. Today we're going to be completing their entire mission tree and attempting to make Mali the #1 great power in the entire game. However, we're going to face a lot of problems, especially in our early game right away, as we have a ton of rebels as our country is on the brink of just being destroyed right at the start of the game. We're going to lose a ton of stability, we're going to have no manpower, and our country is going to be highly in debt. So here we are as Mali. We got our 12,000 troops. We got a horrible ruler, a horrible heir who we're immediately going to just send out into the coast of Gambia because he's just garbage. And we are in literally the stages of our country just facing total and utter collapse. And the only way that we're able to resolve that problem is by going through our mission tree, ironically enough, and reaching all the way down here to restore Mali authority, which then will stop the decline of Mali disaster, and we actually get second golden age until the end of the game, giving us stab cost and monthly autonomy change. However, the problem is we have to actually get there, and the only way to get there is through all these missions. Really, the only couple missions that we could complete at the very start here is a competent court. We have to have at least 6 admin, 6 diplo, and 6 mil all across the board, and pretender rebels will no longer spawn whenever a ruler dies. And we can also do this one if we just simply sell titles and make our estates gain 60 loyalty, and all of our states will remain loyal for the duration of the disaster, and we gain 1 stability. And then finally, the Monza to arms, we could do this initially as well, getting our ruler as a general and just hiring the free company, and we get permanent claims on Jolof and Jene. Now, when looking at our estate situation and really the monarch point generation that we're going to need in order to do all this stuff, first thing we are going to do is just simply sell titles before I forget to do anything else. We are going to go ahead and use that money so that way we can hire a couple of advisors. We're going to hire this guy, a Diplo rep guy, well, a level 2 guy, and a level 2 admin advisor as well. In fact, I probably should have hired a level 2 mill guy. It's okay. We'll do that in a moment. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and hand out the primacy of the emirs along with land of commerce. This way we get close enough to that 6 mana point generation. Literally, if I just hired a level 2 advisor, it would not be a problem. But I kind of sort of forgot. To do that. As for our other estate stuff, we're not going to hand out any of the cheaper advisors because we're going to be losing stability for the entire game. Instead, we're going to hand out clerical ministers, so then that way we go down the path of legalism because we're going to need the additional tech stuff since we're going to be behind the whole game. We're also going to go with enforced unity of faith because we are Sunni in a land of fetishist provinces. Religious diplomats because there are a few other Sunni nations, and clerical education. As for emirs, we are typically I do increase levies. However, in the case of this, because we are going to be having super low crown lands, I'm not going to worry about this at the start here. Instead, I'm going to be going with emir officer rights and also neighbor raid, which I believe it's every time that we take a fort. That's right, we get additional manpower. As for merchant guilds, patronage of the arts, indebted to the merchant guilds, along with bookkeeping and financial demand. And this is my general setup for this nation, aside from the level 2 advisor that I forgot to hire. We're going to go ahead and make our ruler general, and he's a slightly better general than he is a ruler. He's a 1-2-1. And in terms of rivals, we're just going to rival the nations that rivaled us, such as Jolof, Jene, and Timbuktu. And I'm going to go ahead and hire my free company so we can complete that mission and get our permanent claims on both Jene and Jolof. In terms of allies, we are actually able to royal marry Morocco, and we may even be able to get Tunis, which that's crucial because we kind of sort of don't have feudalism. We kind of sort of need that, especially if we're going to get caught up in tech, because we start out in level 2 all across the board. And in terms of allies down here, I'm just going to ally Khanum Bornu. They're all the way on the other end of things, and they're not really going to interfere with our claims over here that we get in the early game. And sure enough, here's that event, the decline of Mali, which is going to make you question your entire life and wish that you'd never even open up the game of EU4. You're going to lose stability, and you're going to be stuck fighting a ton of rebels. And now we are going to be able to click this mission, Monza to Arms, get our permanent claims along with a subjugation CB on Joloff. We're not going to use that. I'd rather use the conquest CB on these guys. It's a much better one that we'll actually be able to use, and we don't have to worry about them being disloyal for the rest of the game. Luckily for me, they actually allied Jenne over here, so it may actually be better off attacking Jenne and co-belligerting Joloff, and I could do a 2-for-1. Now, while our ruler is complete garbage, his son is an amazing 256, so I will gladly take that. I finally hired that level 2 advisor so I could complete this, get additional monarch points, and pretender rebels no longer spawn. Complete this, get free stability, and now I'm going to go ahead and seize land. So now we have 5% crownlands. Now with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and fire these guys because they're way too expensive. And I'm also going to ally Morocco, because I could do that right away, and I should be able to ally Tunis soon enough, but we're going to just go ahead and ask Morocco for knowledge sharing once we get into their colonial range. In the meantime, however, we are just going to go ahead and attack both Jenne and Joloff. We're going to subjugate Jenne, and we're going to go ahead and annex Joloff. And here's our very first battle against Jenne. I did stack wipe Joloff's army. Hopefully this is a stack wipe here. And it looks like it will be. Oh, actually close enough. And also get used to seeing this event right here. Malian peasants rise up in X province. It's a horrible event. You're going to see this literally a million times. It just never goes away until the whole disaster goes away. And either you deal with rebels or you get autonomy. Just deal with the rebels. Just trust me, you much rather deal with the rebels. If you choose the autonomy, your country's just going to become dirt poor really fast. Now this mission right here, Islamization of the aristocracy, is very important depending on what you choose. The top option is more of we convert everything down here, which, you know, as I mentioned earlier, most of the provinces down here are fetishist, and we are a Sunni nation with a ton of fetishist provinces. And really only northern part of West Africa is all Sunni. Otherwise, we could be super tolerant, get stability, mysticism, and I mean, you know, nice thing is they added where you could see whatever option you choose. So if we go down the top option, it makes our ulema a little bit more loyal, makes them better with tolerance to true faith. If we choose the tolerance option for the next 25 years, our dhimmi gets more maximum tolerance to heathens, and they get to be a little bit more loyal. I'm going to go with the top option because that's a little bit better for the stability of our nation. Typically, when you convert provinces, you're not going to get as many rebels, so might as well choose that option. And now we could go ahead and complete this, which is literally just get that event and decide. Alright, and I did just get Jenne's capital, so we're going to go ahead and full annex Joloff. They're completely gone. It's only going to cost us 96 admin. A little bit of Diplo, but that's because they're a secondary participant in this war. Boom, they're gone. As for Jenne over here, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and subjugate them. I like having them as a vassal, and I'll show you guys why. In their capital here, they get the Great Mosque of Jen. This tier 1 great project or great wonder gives you missionary strength versus heathens. However, if you make sure you don't conquer that province and instead you just simply vassalize these guys, when you conquer a province, their great projects decrease in size. However, because he's a subject, it stays the same size, and we could actually upgrade it to its level 2, and he gets a bunch of development, and he gets an additional missionary and even more missionary strength versus heathen. So when we integrate them, we get those bonuses. And because I just annexed Joloff, I could complete this, get another stability and 200 admin, which is fantastic. And it comes at a perfect time because we have a couple missions in which we have to develop provinces. So this one here, we have to develop Gabu and accept Senegambian as a culture, and we will no longer get rebels or wars of other nations. Over here in the province of Segu, we have to dev this up to 15, increase the autonomy, and we get a bunch of permanent claims on Timbuktu and Songhai. So those are going to be our two main focal points that we do next. And hopefully now, I was going to say we could maybe get the knowledge sharing from Morocco, but I guess they're doing it to Tafilalt, who apparently also does not have feudalism, so we gotta wait our turn. And we are going to focus on the Gabu mission right now, getting this up to size 15, just because we get additional 150 mil power. So we could actually use our 150 mil power to help dev this up and then get that right back so we could dev up Segu. Oh, and because we completed the Conquer Gene mission over here, we actually also got permanent claims on Kong now as well. And as I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure that you keep the autonomy low in all your provinces. Don't ever take those events where they just increase the autonomy, because right now we are making 3 ducats, which means I can actually afford all level 1 advisors. Just fantastic. And I'm still making just a little bit of money. Now that I completed this mission, got my free stability. Now I have permanent claims literally on everything over here. So Timbuktu, you are next. Which we could actually do that war right now. In fact, I will do that war right now and call on my boy Khan Bornu as we outnumber Timbuktu. This should also improve relations with my subject of Jene over here. And we can full annex Timbuktu in one war. Now that I finally cored up all the stuff in Jollof, I could state this up. And I can make Senegambian into an accepted culture all of a sudden. And now I could complete this mission. And really, in order for us to get down to the Restore Mali Authority mission here, we just have to do reintegrate Songhai. So pretty much conquer all of Songhai, retake Timbuktu, conquer all of Timbuktu, and restore the empire, which requires us to own 12 provinces in the Sahel and Niger regions while having at least 350 development. Then we become an empire again and get a bunch of claims on areas over here. And then we just need 2 stability, and there we go. That disaster's done and over with. I can also get Khan Bornu and Ire pretty much out of this war just by simply offering up Khan Bornu's land, and I'm no longer allied to them. I'm okay with that. It makes this area of the map a little bit weaker. Ire's not really allied to anybody important. And now I'm just 1v1ing Timbuktu, which I'm about to take their capital, and we're about to win this war. Now that I've cored up the province of Timbuktu, I could complete this, retake Timbuktu, get stability, and Timbuktu's fate happens. We could actually make this into our capital, or we could keep our capital over here in Joma, but I'm going to go ahead and make Timbuktu our new capital because it is a cloth province. It's also a center of trade. It also has a really good monument or a great project over here, which does increase institution spread. So if it's a very high dev province, it's very good for institution spread. Plus I'm getting that knowledge sharing from Morocco right now, and that should help out the growth over here. Let's go ahead and do that. We could also begin a colonization effort here in the province of Tuat, which does move us a little bit closer to our boy Morocco. Now hopefully Morocco doesn't hate us because we did this. But typically if they colonize Tuat, they get a bunch of permanent claims down here. So us doing this first, fingers crossed they don't hate us as much. And because we do have quite a bit of a treasury built up here, I'm going to build up to 10 light ships. Just so that way we could complete another mission here, which does increase the center of trade in the province of Gabu by 1. Finally, we could go ahead and choose our tier 2 government reform, which is strength and noble privileges. I also forgot to mention, we do have a unique government, which is Musa Rule, which gives us cheaper stab cost, possible advisor, and yearly legitimacy. Finally, feudalism has appeared in Timbuktu. Means, yeah, we just have to take out some of those burger loans here, finally embrace it, and get tech number 3. And yeah, no, we're nowhere near to being close to any of these guys at all. That's our very first technology in 1458. I see Songhai is currently in a war with a bunch of these guys in the center portion here. And yeah, we're going to get involved here. We're going to go ahead and, attack Kong, go belligerent Songhai, which we'll then just call in Kano over here. And we are ahead in tech above both Kong and Kano. Songhai is the only one that's also at Mil Tech 4, so they should really only be the only other tough nation to be fighting here. Alright, here's our very first battle against Songhai. Ooh, thank goodness they did not take my capital there. Just making sure. Alright, making sure my best general's on the front. And boom, we just absolutely demolished Songhai. And we could go ahead and full annex them. Perfect. So Songhai is officially out of the way. We could reintegrate Songhai. gain Shanghai as an accepted culture, and we get stability. And all we have to do is reach that 350 total dev mark and own 12 provinces in Niger. We get even more permanent claims and become an empire. And Yatanga just beat up on my boy Kong over here. Oh well. I'm gonna let Kano over here, yep, kill off the Shanghai separatists. I'm just gonna take all their money, war reps, and break their alliance with Noop. As for Kong, of course, we're just gonna go ahead full annex these guys, and then we'll start prepping up for a war against Yatanga at some point. Which they actually just broke their alliance with Bonoman over here, so we're just gonna go ahead and attack them. I think my subject of Jene should be able to handle them all by themselves. Which, because my subject Jene just took their capital, I could actually take all the provinces I have claims on. Which again, this is mission tree only, so I'm only allowed to take the things I have claims on, so perfect. Literally within like a month or two. And all I have to do is just get that development, literally 100 more dev. And my subject Jene is going to give me an additional 54, so I would need another 50 development throughout my country at some point. In the meantime, though, I will begin integrating my subject of Jene. This is going to take me a little bit of time. Finally, our crappy ruler's dead. We got our 256 and a 322 heir. I mean, I can't complain. He's better than both our starting guy and his heir combined. So I'm thinking because our ruler's so good in both Diplo and Mill, we're just going to focus on admin while he's in charge. This should allow us to get caught up in terms of tech and get that stability back up as well. Would you look at that? Fulo decided to join us. I think I actually get permanent claims on these guys at some point. Alright, so in order for me to complete this mission, I need to dev up my country at least 40 times. Well, 37 to be exact. And honestly, the best way to do that is with the intention to go ahead and dev up for the Renaissance. So that'll probably be in the province of Gao over here. Just so I could, I mean, it's a cloth province, it's a center of trade. That's going to be the best way to go ahead and get the institution and also to complete that mission. For my tier 3 government reform, we're going to go with expanded royal court because I want more reform progress. Finally, I was able to dev up my land, so Gao and Karabara over here are two very high dev provinces along with my capital of Timbuktu, but Gao is the largest province in my country right now. But now I could go ahead and complete this, get my stability up, 50 prestige, I'm now an empire, and I get a bunch of permanent claims on stuff over here. Now in order for me to completely end this disaster, I need to go ahead and kill off Fulo, and I also need to have +2 stability. And then we can finally go on with the rest of our lives and play a more chill game. I mean, considering this is 1480, this really isn't that bad. And honestly, if I had the institution, yeah, I'd be up where I'd be above Hungary right now. I'd be the 7th greatest power. With my stability finally at +2, I just full annex Fulo. I could finally end the decline of Mali disaster, get stab cost and monthly autonomy changed till the end of the game. I don't ever have to worry about those stupid events anymore. And now I'm just going to sit here and chill until my country kind of fixes itself. Especially with technology and all that stuff. I'm not necessarily in a hurry to expand over here. I'm more in a hurry to get caught up technologically because I have to worry about somebody named Castile, Spain, who is hostile towards me, and also Portugal, who is hostile towards me as well. Finally, I embraced the Renaissance, and now I'm a great power. I'm the 7th greatest power, as I mentioned earlier, which is actually really nice for it being 1485, and I'm just right below Poland by like almost 100 dev. Finally, in 1492, we could go ahead and choose our very first idea group, and we're going to open up with exploration ideas. You may be asking yourself, Chairman, why are you choosing exploration ideas? Well, because it's part of our mission tree. You see, in order for us to advance down this portion of the mission tree, these 3 right here, we have to have the quest for New World, we have to actually discover South America, and we actually have to have 10 provinces over in the Americas, and once we complete all that, we get 800 ducats, a colonist and settler chance for the next 25 years. which it was perfect timing because I was immediately able to get quests for a new world, and we get quests for the Lost Fleet happens. We gain an explorer with 40 tradition and 5,000 sailors. I'm going to go ahead, unmothball my navy over here. Get 3 of these ships, put our explorer on here, and once they're fully repaired, they're going to go ahead and start exploring. And you may be asking yourself, why does Mali even have this type of missions and stuff? Like, what is the point of all this? I mean, for one, you know, Mali is very close to South America, so it does make sense from a player perspective actually to colonize over here, especially because a lot of that South American trade actually pours into the Ivory Coast. Secondly, there is some sort of historical lore behind this. You know, there is a debate whether or not the Malian Empire did send out a group of ships that actually discovered South America. Whether or not they made it there, up for debate. There is, I've heard of some evidence suggesting that they actually made said fleet and sent it over there. I've also heard that it's also just a bunch of BS, but you can never really be sure because a lot of these nations over here were oral tradition based, so not a lot of them have written records. And because I know about South America, we can now complete this, get land discovered. Ooh, actually we get a province here for free. Oh great, it's next to Spain. Perfect, yeah, because I want to be next to the Spanish. But great, we got a province over here. It's a core, it's Sunni, it's Malian. It's actually a pretty high dev. Now all we have to do is just continue to explore over here and set up a colonial nation. Alright, so we are at Miltech 8, which makes us the most technologically advanced nation in our area by at least 3 Miltechs. Next closest one being the Congo at 6. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead on a warpath, start just absolutely demolishing all these nations here. Ironically enough, Katsina is actually allied to 2 of the nations I really need to beat down on within Noop and Benin. So I'll probably just co-belligerent these guys and yeah, just pretty much take everything I need. I've apparently converted my entire nation to Sunni, so now I could complete this. And we did go for the conversion option, so we get Talent to True Faith +2 and Ulema Loyalty Equilibrium +15%, and our Ulema gain 10 loyalty, and this lasts for about 25 years. So cool. Religious branch done. Okay, so in this war, because I don't have Diplotech 7 just yet, I can't just core up all this stuff, so Benin I'm just going to make into a subject. They're actually a pretty good nation down here. As for Noop and Katsina over here, I'm just going to full annex both of these guys. I should be able to. Perfect, yeah, I could actually full annex both nations, no problem. So colonialism just spawned in 1500, and I didn't even realize it, but apparently there was actually a good chance that we could have spawned colonialism in our country just because, well, we know about the New World. And we also own provinces over here in Brazil. So, yeah, there would have been colonialism in Mali, which just seems so weird, but it just would have been so helpful for our country. I also didn't realize it, but I'm going to have to actually conquer all of Brazil because I have permanent claims on the entire area. Oh, man. I'm going to have to fight a lot of wars against the Spanish. For a tier 4 government reform, normally I like going with maintain balance of power. However, that being said, I'm thinking we are going to go with curtail clerical privileges for the cheaper admin tech cost. And our really good ruler just died. So he's finally been replaced by a 322, and we got a 213 heir. That guy, you know, we'll just disinherit him in hopes that we get somebody better. Finally, we could choose our second idea group, which we are going to go ahead and pick up quality ideas. And while we're here, I just realized that I haven't talked about Malian ideas at all. Now, Malian ideas, they aren't amazing. They aren't going to be just absolutely curb stomping everybody, but they are very good balanced ideas that revolve around both your army, navy, and trade. You get land attrition, tolerance of heathens, infantry combat ability when you do finish their ideas, income from vassals, goods produced, national manpower, discipline, yearly naval attrition, and additional merchant and trade efficiency. So taking quality ideas is very useful for that infantry combat ability, and more than likely I'm going to be taking innovative or economic ideas next, so I could stack the discipline and infantry combat ability to make our guys a little bit more heavy hitting. Probably be innovative though, just so I could maintain my ability to stay up to par in terms of tech. What is this? The Ottomans want to be my ally? Oh my god, yes. Yes. It's about to be the most amazing game ever. Finally, it's time for me to choose my third idea group, and I'm going to go ahead and choose innovative ideas. Innovative is such a good tech group. It's going to allow us to stay on par with everybody technologically. I mean, we're not the worst off. We're only a couple techs behind most people, but the policy between innovative quality is really good. Plus, we get 5% here with quality ideas, 5% here in our Malian ideas. And at some point, we will be taking economic, just so that way, I mean, it's going to be fantastic. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we actually have a few gold mines over here. Yeah, you definitely want to get these up to at least Diplo or production 11 or even 10. We do have to complete a mission. This one here, Gold and Ivory, where we need trade stations in a bunch of provinces. Basically, every single province over here needs to have a trade station. And our 3 gold producing provinces need to have at least 10 production. And we get controlled gold mining for our merchant guilds, which lowers the production value of all that stuff, but makes it less likely we will run out of money. And we also get high quality ivory from Mali. I don't know what that entails, but I'm interested to see. So the year is 1547, and we can finally see pretty much the entire world. Europe, pretty normal for the most part. Ottomans, who are my allies, very, very normal. We actually have Persia, China, actually not too bad. Chagatai, I'm amazed, having a great game. Indonesia, yeah, pretty normal. Japan, actually Ashikaga is doing a really good job this game. And I mean, really the only difference being Denmark is on its way to forming Scandinavia. Russia kind of sucks this game, but we got Kazan, who's doing pretty well. And the HRE, I mean, Brandenburg is actually having a relatively decent game. Wish they kind of got some of that, like the Teuton stuff a little bit later on, so we could actually see Prussia, but it is what it is. Year 6 government reform. I'm thinking we're going to go with aristocrat court, the extra Diplo reputation, the improved relations. It'll be very nice. Maybe it'll allow me to ally somebody up here in Europe, like maybe France, who isn't necessarily having the best game, but I mean, they could definitely help me out against somebody like Spain. So our ruler just died. He left us with this very average or slightly below average heir. But man, the Empress region is amazing. So we're going to keep her around for a long time. We're just going to continue to extend this regency. Because man, she's amazing. Finally, next idea time. I'm thinking we're actually going to go with like defensive ideas or even quantity ideas. Defensive would be good because that would put me on par with all the Europeans. Quantity would be good because obviously just the sheer number of troops, and plus I can afford a lot of guys. But we're going to go with defensive. Also, that attrition is very nice. Finally, I got myself a colonial nation over here in Brazil. Thinking we're going to go with the self-governing colony. Just so that way it could expand as fast as possible. Because, I mean, we're literally competing with Spanish Brazil over here right now. So might as well get this guy to be as big as possible. I've apparently overtook Kilwa as the leading producer of ivory. I don't know how. Well, I guess because their market share is much higher. So they have, you know, 19%, but I apparently produce 30% of the world's ivory. So finally I could complete this mission. High quality ivory from Mali happens. We get almost 500 ducats. Nice. Price of ivory goes up for the next 30 years. So apparently all I have to do to complete this mission, and luckily for me, it's just the Ottomans. I just have to send them a gift. They own Ankara, they own Cairo, and Mecca. So they just need to have opinion over me, or opinion of me at least 50, which I mean, we're allies, so obviously they're above that. And they just need to have the modifier sent gift. So I just gotta wait for my diplomat to come back and we could complete that right away. There we go. I could complete this mission. Then the generous pilgrimage of my ruler happens. We get generous realm for the next 25 years, and we get improved relations because of that by 25% for the next 25. Let's see. We gotta move towards more legalism. Ulema become more loyal. Our ruler becomes a zealot, and he invests money into Mecca for construction of a great mosque. Or go the other way with the dhimmi. My guy's kind-hearted, mysticism, and accounting house. We're gonna go with this one. Oh, well, this is not good. Obviously, they're gonna probably full annex my subject. I really don't want to get involved because I really don't want to fight Spain right now. I can't even get the Ottomans to help me. And what's sad is, like, even some of their subjects will not join, apparently. Ottomans apparently have a truce with them, and that's because of the religious wars. So I gotta wait until that ends in about 2 years. I mean, I could enforce peace, but I don't know if that means Spain's gonna get involved. Screw it, we're just gonna try it. Yeah, no, now I'm at war with Spain. Oh, come on, dude. This is horrible. Alright, so I guess I just have to wait for ye old Ottomans to be ready. Alright, here's the hoping for the best. Hopefully, yeah, okay, they're gonna definitely get over here in time. Oh my god, my guys actually did a lot of damage to them, but they just had the numbers. Okay, I desperately need these Ottomans. Ottomans, please. Buddy. Doesn't want to get involved in an escalated colonial war? Oh, dude, come on. The defensive war. Oh, no. I'm not losing 85% of my land. No, no, no. Alright, so I see the Spanish army's kind of starting to split up. They're probably going to try and take back my capital of Gao. I'm going to try and stack wipe this 16 stack down here. Fingers crossed that could actually happen. But what I've been doing, I mean, aside from getting my butt absolutely handed to me, is I burned down my capital and also the province of Gao. I wish my fort finished upgrading here. I guess it didn't. I also did the defensiveness edict here, and I'm trying to just whittle down the Spanish manpower. They're at about 18,000, and the longer they sit in my land and siege down forts, guess what? They're going to be at no manpower whatsoever. And honestly, that's just my plan for winning this war. It's just simply attrition these guys to death and hope that my guys could just survive long enough for me to just win this war. Yeah, and I mean, when comparing my guys to the Spanish troops, their discipline's better, their morale's better, obviously they're Western troops. It's just not a good time for me whatsoever. But I'll tell you what, this plan is definitely working. I mean, they're down 95,000 troops right now. They canceled their Comandante from Portugal, which, I mean, I guess it just was not able to make it down here at all. And there's actually a legitimate chance I could just turn this around, unsiege my homelands here, and I may end up just having to give up Brazil over here and come back for it a little bit later. And in fact, it looks like I'm about to actually stack wipe this army. Yes, okay. So now they're down to 78,000 guys. Still a lot. Still a lot. And like the vast majority of them are right here. Alright, I just finally beat what's like the remaining of the Spanish army down here. And there's a good chance I could just stack wipe these guys if I just simply follow their army to one of my occupied lands. And boom, we just stack wiped the Spanish. Yet again, they're down to 94,000 troops again because guess what? They should have a very large mercenary army at this point. Yeah, 45,000 troops. Yeah. And of course, they're getting ready to land those bad boys over here. But what I gotta do right now is unsiege all my land. Alright, so I'll be able to keep my mainland stuff over here, but rip all my Brazilian stuff, and 2,000 ducats just gone now. Fifth idea group time. We're just gonna go with it. Economic. This way we get our discipline, boost up our economy a bit. I have to be making a certain amount of money anyways in our mission tree, so I mean it works. And I'm going to do something a little bit crazy here. I'm going to go ahead and attack the Spanish with the assistance of the Ottomans, Denmark, and Tunis. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm attacking them for this island right here that they own off of my coastline. And I'm hoping that I could just land there, get my ticking war score, push in through the Maghreb, and all should be well. I'll be honest, Spain stack wiped one of my armies. I think it's time I repaid the favor. Get out of here, Spain. Really? That was not a stack wipe? Oh well. We gotta push through the Maghreb here because, I mean, Ottomans, they need to get out of this stupid war. Because I started my war and then their ally Ormuz declared war on Yemen. And now they're just over there. And they're not helping me in my war whatsoever. And it just sucks. And they could literally be helping me win all of North Africa right now. Meanwhile, poor Denmark has been taking the brunt of everything. Her and her colonies are pretty much just occupied right now. Okay, so Tunis is out of this war. Just beat up the Spanish army and the Portuguese are locked into a battle with me. I may end up actually stack wiping them here. Alright, looks like I'll probably stack wipe both armies. Yep, there we go. So that's a ton of Spanish and a ton of Portuguese guys just gone. I mean, if I could get Portugal out of here, that would be fantastic. I mean, they're feeling too good about this war, though. Right, and now Denmark's being invaded by Britain. I have to accept this. Even though Britain has 200,000 troops. Oh my god. I mean, I technically don't want any of my land. I mean, I guess at least there's that, but still. I think I'm just going to have to accept this white peace because the Ottomans are just being a big letdown right now and they're not helping me in my war, so that just sucks. I mean, at least I didn't lose anything, I guess. Still. Alright, let's try this again, attacking them for Sao Tome. Or Santo Tome. Calling all my allies. Let's do it. Alright, so apparently the Ottomans felt like it's a better idea just to go into Africa over here. So here's how this peace deal is going to work. Originally I was going to take this stuff. I'm just going to take this province here if I can. Oh my god, probably like one more month. Alright, sure enough. Okay, just one more month. No money. I need this one province because I need it in order to complete this darn mission right here. This has literally been holding up like the rest of my mission tree. So this one here, I just needed to either be friendos with whoever owns it, or I own it myself and have 10% or more trade power. Boom, get this. Mali and the Maghrebi. I could really be buddy-buddy with these guys. This mission should have been done like early game, but because Portugal's been able to just conquer all this stuff, it really didn't matter. I don't know. I'm going to keep the gold and ivory for myself. I'm greedy. And all I have to do right now is get at least 10% trade or more trade power in either Gibraltar, Valencia, or the Ligurian Sea. So either here in Genoa, here, or right here. Realistically, Gibraltar is probably going to be the easiest. And all I really have to do is just build a flagship, and that should help me get to that 10% here. So let's go ahead and build that flagship. We're going to do a light ship with this one right here, the trade route map. And really, I mean, just because it is my navy, I guess I'll give it like one more thing, like fleet movement speed. But that's really about it. Also, let's see, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Actually, we'll get another, like, there we go. So it's like 50 even, and then we'll just send them to protect trade over here in Gibraltar. Okay, so because I completed the connection to Maghreb mission, I just needed 2,000 ducats, but I can actually purchase a European province. So I can just straight up ask Genoa over here for Corsica. France for Nice or Nice, which is right here. Or I could just wait until I'm ready. Honestly, let's go for Corsica. Why not? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Genoa. Yeah, so here we are as Mali. We now own the province of Corsica, and we should be able to make this into a trade company or something. Of course, all of a sudden now I could ally a ton of other nations. I mean, honestly, Austria, well, actually, Hungary might be the better option. They have more troops than Austria, so we'll do them. And I'll start currying favors with these guys just so then that way I can get them to help me out in my next Spanish war. So apparently, Landshut became the emperor, and Austria went under Brittany, and now my new ally of Hungary is actually fighting Brittany and Spain for the throne of Austria. I mean, that would be amazing. Imagine my Hungarian ally, the Hungaro-Austrian Empire instead. That would be amazing. I mean, they do have Milan, and Milan is a pretty tough nation over here. My really good trade fleet over here. I now got 10% trade power here in Gibraltar. I can complete this. Market controller. I get 5 mercantilism. And market controller till the end of the game with trade power abroad and trade range. We're pretty much just down to these last 4 missions here, such as protect West African trade, prepare to pilgrimage. This one, which requires us to own 10 provinces in Brazil, and this one, which I have no idea how I'm going to do, but I need to have more development than any European nation. Finally, I could complete the protect West African trade. I had to embargo Portugal, Britain, and even the Congo in order to do this, and I finally got my Timbuktu trade node up to 86% trade power here, and till the end of the game we get additional trade power in all 3 of these trade nodes, and then for 25 years we get national unrest and goods produced. And all I have to do now for this mission here is just get the stab 3. As you guys can see, there's a lot of different requirements, but we are going to go on a pilgrimage once we do complete everything. So once I get the stab 3, we're going to go on a pilgrimage, and then we're just down to West African power and Komadi's ambition. Means a ton of war with Spain. Finally, with my stability up at 3, I could complete prepare to pilgrimage. We could go towards Europe. We get -5 tech cost, institution spread. We can go pilgrimage done by my advisors. They all leave our court, which is just stupid. Or we just follow Mansa Musa's route. We're gonna go towards this top one. There's a good chance that we could actually ruin a couple of nations' economies because of this mission too. There's some events where, you know, a couple of these countries might get hyperinflation. And here we go. So we can either give Spain a huge donation of money, or we could just do this one, and it makes all of the Iberian countries gain a bunch of inflation. This one, I mean, it would make their economy go down quite a bit because of the 9% inflation, but don't want to give Spain 7,000 ducats, so we'll just do this one. Alright, we're going to try this again against Spain, hoping for the best. Should be able to start taking some Brazilian land this time, fingers crossed, and I'm hoping, just hoping, that the Ottomans actually help out in this freaking war. Wait, actually, hold on, let me wait until they finish their war against Transoceania before I do this. Finally, I've taken the pretty much the entirety of the Maghreb. We're going to force march across the straits and hope for the best. Come on, Ottomans. Come on out. They just watched my guys. They just watched them. Oh no. Retreat. Please. Okay, Ottomans. I seriously need you guys over here. Oh, that's... You know what? I'm stoops. I could definitely get Portugal out of here. I get a province? Oh, I could actually get that province I need. And I have a ton of money. Perfect. Let me see if I can't get my guys across now. Oh, this was probably a bad idea. Oh, Ottomans are getting involved this time, though. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Carry me to victory. Yes. All right, perfect. Okay, so the Ottomans finally peaced out, but they did so much of this work. Spain's completely out of manpower. I hired a bunch of mercs because I could afford it. And, yeah, we actually outnumbered the Spanish now. So we're just going to go ahead and try and get at least around 80% war score. And then we should be able to win this war. And pretty much get all of Brazil at that point. In fact, that is exactly what I'm gunning for, is to get all of Brazil. Finally, after like 15 years of war, I could full annex Spanish Brazil, get the 2 islands, well, 2 provinces I need directly from Spain, and get just barely any money. Oh yeah, Mali and Brazil, there we go, boys. I can also finally complete this, which is like so late. 800 ducats a colonist, whatever. Not really much I want to colonize over here. I'm amazed that Britain actually colonized the Congo. The AI never goes over here. Alright, and finally my colony is just straight up back, and we're just going to make them into a crown colony. Perfect. So, seeing how it's more than likely, I'm unlikely to complete this mission because there's no way I'm going to be able to catch up to the Ottomans in terms of total development with playing within the confines of our mission tree. I just simply saved up a ton of money, and we're just going to go ahead and complete this achievement. I will play until at least 1750. You never know, maybe something happens like the Ottomans explode or something like that. But at the very least, we are going to go ahead and complete this mission here, or achievement. Mansa Musa has Mali give 10,000 ducats away to another great power without having a single loan or being bankrupt. Now, honestly, I don't like many of these options, but I'm gonna choose one. I guess I'll do John Purr over here because they're next to my arch nemesis of Bengal, and yeah, we're just gonna give them all 10,000 of our ducats. So here we go, just 10,000 ducats sent to a random nation for no reason. But a little bit. There's our achievement. Thank you, Steam, for letting me know. Yeah, here we go. Got that achievement, so that's nice. But again, you know, I'm gonna play until 1750 in hopes that maybe, just maybe, we could complete this mission. Otherwise, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world because we did complete 99% of this mission tree. So, fingers crossed we could complete this one. But if not, it's okay. Alright, so I think that's about where we are going to leave it off for today, the year 1770. In terms of great power status, yeah, I'm number 4. I'm like half the development of the Ottomans. There's no way. They're going on a complete imperialist path. As you guys can see, they're literally about to annex Adal and Transoceania literally any minute now. So I'm not going to be able to complete this last mission, but honestly, by the time you get down here, I mean, it is very good if you complete it early on because you get that morale of armies and navies to the end of the game. But yeah, we finished up pretty much literally the entire mission tree other than that one mission. And in terms of economy, yeah, it's the late game, 1770. We are bringing in 686 ducats in total income with almost 448 every month. And I am running all level 5 advisors. In terms of military, I mean, this just recently went up because of all the deving I've been doing. And as you guys can see, my army tradition is just absolute garbage because I haven't been in a war for like the past 100 years because I've just been trying to develop all of West Africa as much as possible. But at least we also got this achievement, Mansa Musa, giving away 10,000 ducats to another great power without having a single loan or being bankrupt. So at least we did that. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one where we're going to be covering Novgorod's entire mission tree. Just Novgorod's portion, not the entire Russian mission tree, as I've already done that, but we will do all of Novgorod's mission tree. I'll see you guys in the next one. Chairman out.